Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got some breaking news out of Williamsburg, Virginia, where we have received 2 new teasers from the park. Danny, if you recall, we have that first one that had the starry background with the Pluto symbol on the flag. Now we have 2 separate flags, one with fire in the background, one with water in the background. And we, of course, have the Neptune and Mercury symbols on those flags now. So we were kind of speculating the last episode that maybe this would be a Pluto-themed ride. It does not seem like that anymore. It seems like they're going to go to the whole collection of gods now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of feels that way. It feels like we're sort of getting bits and pieces and maybe not the whole picture. At first, we kind of assumed that maybe we were getting a good chunk of the picture, and it seems like they're sort of piecemealing it to us now. The thought here maybe is that similar to maybe the Copperhead Strike teaser, that maybe we're getting hints at little bits and pieces and different elements of the ride and not necessarily one overlying theme. My initial thought is, okay, Mercury was talking about speed, so maybe we're talking about the speed aspect of the ride.
Or the
and
launch.
Now with Neptune the launch. And then Neptune talking about the water. Maybe we're talking about the dive down to the Rhine River that's been highly speculated for this ride. So then kind of going back, we would have to amend what we thought about the Pluto teaser, which was the first one we got, and talk about the underworld, Pluto being the god of the underworld. Maybe there's something in it, or maybe it's just a tunnel in general, or it goes underground. Maybe it starts underground, has an underground dive somewhere in it. We don't really know, but maybe that's kind of what we're going for here, and they're just using some symbolism to give us some hints at some of the things that the ride's going to do. I think that's maybe more of what we're looking at with this teaser campaign at this point.
Well, yeah, and so far it's, there's not a whole lot else to go off of here besides, just looking at the tweets themselves. The first one, it says, rise with the power of Neptune's trident and plunge deep into the raging sea. That would
rise and then a plunge.
Yeah, that definitely would be, the top hat into the plunge. And then the other one is run messages to the gods on Mercury's lightning fast wings. So maybe they're going to create a whole story here where, where all the gods are involved somehow. I'd be real shocked if they didn't have some kind of overarching story to go with this ride. Maybe different trains. I don't know where we're going. We did another trademark search today. Could not come up with anything for SeaWorld parks. We do know that SeaWorld LLC trademarked Abyss way back when, but traditionally, when they trademark on the LLC, it's usually for the SeaWorld parks proper, where we have things like Tidal Twister and Mako and all that over there. And then when they trademark for SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, usually that is for the Busch parks. We see Tigress and the other things there. So Abyss was trademarked for the LLC, probably for use in a SeaWorld park. I don't know if that's for the wood coaster going up in San Antonio. It seems kind of dark for a coaster.
Sounds more like a water slide or something.
Yeah, like Abyss would work here maybe, but it just doesn't fit the right trademark set, if you will. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
Abyss is awfully generic for how specific we're getting in terms of clues, and Abyss doesn't really seem to tie back to the clues we're getting here anyways. So I would maybe strike that one anyways.
And they are putting out teasers a little bit quicker here. We got the Mercury teaser on the 2nd, and then we got the Neptune one yesterday on the 9th, and then of course we're going to get the announcement on the 30th according to the Roman numerals. So we might have a couple of more here.
We should get at least 2 more, maybe 3.
Yeah. But I don't know, like at this point, I don't know where it's leading besides just giving us the gods that might be involved in the story.
Maybe and maybe it's going to be a rather generic ride, and it's just going to have a nice station, maybe like Apollo's Chariot, where the ride itself isn't going to have much of a story. It's just going to sort of have, you know, a very light theme in terms of the scenery around the station and what I mean. Apollo's Chariot isn't really, I mean, there's not really a story being told over the course of the ride with Apollo's Chariot. It's really just a roller coaster, but it's got some nice theming around it. You know, it's just sort of there. Sort of same thing with Alpengeist to a point, and Griffin to a point. Like there's some theme elements there in terms of the name of the ride and the area around it. But generally there's not a story being told, not on the level of Verbolten, where really the ride from start to finish is kind of themed out pretty well. So we might see something just more along the lines there. And you know, if it's a multi-launch ride, maybe we will have, you know, 4 or 5 trains like a Verbolten, and they'll be able to have different names, and maybe that's all this is going to be. I think a possibility at this point. I don't know.
Well, we will keep you updated. I'm sure we will get, you know, like you said, if there are, you know, if there are a couple more here, you could get 5 trains, you could get 4 trains, you could get 3 trains if they're the smaller trains. You know, it sounds like it's that new Intamin concept, so that we've talked about before. So we will keep you updated here. As always, I'm Andrew Barchak from Chicago, Illinois.
I'm Danny Miller from Binghamton, New York.
Right on, Ride Warriors.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.